Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mr.Cygnus back again, a little sooner than usual. Why don't you guys go ahead and get the replay paused at the 1 minute mark while I go ahead and try and explain a couple things today. Today I'm going to be going over not necessarily so much strategy today, because obviously you can see this is a human versus night elf game. My reason for doing this audio commentary today has little to do with the human/night elf matchup. Basically what I'm going to be going over today is multitasking, a little bit about custom hotkeys, and I'm going to read just 1 PM today. I think I'm going to skip the shoutouts and the funny videos this time, and do something a little more serious, more in the lines of improving your gameplay. So let's go ahead and get this replay unpaused. Hopefully you're at the 1 minute mark by now. Let's go ahead and get this unpaused in 3, 2, 1, unpause. Alright, you will notice the map is Nullwood. My opponent, Akuta, I think is how you say his name. Yeah, dude from Asia, level 37 human player. I would say that's pretty high level in Asia. Definitely a good player. Today, this is actually one of my newer games that I played recently. Probably one of my better games. Being it's Night Elf vs. Human, I think I'll reiterate a couple points that I went over from my last audio commentary while I'm at it. Basically, the whole idea that I'm trying to get get across to you guys today is that I'm going to teach you guys how to do more than one thing at the same time. The more you can do over your opponent, the more of a chance you have of winning, of course. If you can attack his base and get some micro and macro out at the same time, then you're going to be doing a little better than your opponent who's only defending his base and not doing any macro at all. So, yeah, I'll get into more explaining that a bit later. Anyways, you will notice that my Demon Hunters popped out. On this map, I do something a little different. Basically what I do is I do a quick scout to my left and my right to make sure my opponent isn't spawned right next to me. A human player spawned right next to you, pretty much guaranteed tower rush. So if you see that, with this strategy I pop up an AOW and put 1 archer out. Just 1, no, don't need any more. I do put a wisp out in the corner there, so if he does call militia and start running to my base, then I start building more archers. But 1 archer and an AOW should be enough to stop an early tower rush, and you can just make more archers if needed. Well, anyways, I'm just going to go for the mercs instead of the early huntress harass as usual. I do run past my opponent, as you can see here. He's going to try and stop me. He knows I'm going to his base, so I'm not going to go into his base. I'm going to make him go for the long haul run here. Basically, you will notice that I'm microing my wisp, and I am microing my demon hunter at the same time. I'm forcing his footmen to chase my wisp around the whole freaking map, and his whole army to chase my demon hunter around the map, which is a plus to me, because basically I want to stall him as much as possible. So if he had an arcane tower up in his base right now, I'd be turning around and mana burning his archmage, but that's not the case, so I keep the point unused just in case I'm going to re-enter his base a little later. Still got his footmen chasing my wisp around. And right now I did buy a merc right now, so I do see his archmage once again, so I'm going to turn around, do a quick dispel on the water elemental. He is focusing down my shadow priest, which is a smart thing to do. So I do put my point into an immolation, because his archmage is pretty weak at this point. He is successful at killing off the, well, here comes the wisp that I had his footman chasing around the whole map. Boom, detonate. I got his water elemental. So basically by me microing my wisp this whole time turned out to be an advantage, as I did catch him with a water elemental. Basically, he's running with his archmage, which is a smart thing to do. Best thing for him to do is to run to the center of the map and hope that it's a healing fountain, so that he can just keep running his archmage around, and my demon hunter would be looking stupid trying to chase him. But fortunately enough for myself, I do have mercs that I was buying, because I was going to attempt to creep out the center of the map anyways. So right now I'm just going to fool him into thinking that I just have a lone demon hunter. And here I come, I just have my 2 mercs waiting down there, and boom, down goes the archmage. Now, in case you guys don't understand, it's not the smartest thing in the world to be using a TP and a level 1 hero, so he let it die, which is the better way to go. They come back pretty quick. So anyways, now I have 2 mercs and 1 healing merc. I'm going to go ahead and creep out the center of the map. This is something I've been doing for quite a while. I've been working with on how to creep out the center of the map as quick as possible before your opponent would suspect it. Anyways, the idea with a level 1 Demon Hunter is you go actually evade first, and you have 1 healing merc that heals your Demon Hunter, and the other 3 mercs focus down the dragon. And that pretty much allows you to do it, because sometimes when I'm creeping out the center of the map, I don't necessarily go immolation first, because usually your opponent has enough defenses by then to stop harassment. So immolation is usually meant for an early game harassment. But it is a fountain of mana, and luckily I do have a healing merc, so all I do is just wait for all my mana to regenerate my Demon Hunter and just allow my merc to keep healing me. So I'll just wait here for a little bit. I was going to say something else, actually. But anyways, yeah, I am teching to tier 3 right now. You will notice I put down my 2 lures. And yeah, that went off pretty good. Let's see here. I did pick up the Lion Horn of Stormwind, which is pretty awesome. I did run my merc out of the way because my stupid Forest Troll Priest keeps healing the other mercs instead of my Demon Hunter. I need that to be healed first. So I'm going to leave my mercs behind so they can get healed up by the priest while I go ahead and go and harass. Let's see what I'm doing here. I got the lures popping up. I'm at tier 2. I should be getting my second hero pretty soon, but actually I wait on it because I want my lures to pop out first. So I'm going to go ahead and start going for a little bit of harassment once again. So I'm going to take a little peek at his base. One thing I do notice about Asian players on Asia is that they don't necessarily go for the fast expansion, but go for the quick tech rather. I find that's actually pretty smart. Trying a fast tech is pretty risky with a human player, except on Lost Temple, which is your best bet to being successful in it. But anyways, my Demon Hunter's here getting a little surrounded, so I just kill off 1 priest. I do notice he has a Naga, so there's no point in me running away, so I might as well kill as many militia as possible before I TP out. So I TP out, and successful in killing 2 militia, which is good. Not necessarily worth the TP, but you know, it's better than nothing. At least I slowed him down a little bit. It made him force him go back to his base or whatever. So anyways, now I'm getting my bears out right now. I'm gonna wait for the first bear to pop so I can throw Rejuvenation on my Demon Hunter and use 1 Moon Well, being the well is full anyways, and run my Demon Hunter back to his base. Right now I'm picking up a Panda Brewmaster. He should be popping up pretty soon. Come on, Panda, get out the tavern. Well, anyways, there he is. There's my Panda. Now here's what I mean by multitasking. Basically, what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the game is harassing with my Demon Hunter and creeping with my Panda Brewmaster and my army at the same time. Number 1, this is going to allow me to keep the pressure on my opponent. It's going to force him to stay back at his base, which is going to make it hard for him to creep. And on the other hand, I'm still going to be gaining money, items, and hero levels with my Panda Brewmaster. Now, my Panda Brewmaster is more like my surprise. You know, I don't want my opponent to technically know what second hero I'm going to be using. Panda Brewmaster versus Human is a really awesome hero. You will notice my opponent kind of ran past my Demon Hunter, and I was pretty lucky. So anyways, I'm going to run my Demon Hunter down. He probably expects me. So I do see militia, so I know he's going to attempt to expand at this point, which is the ideal time for him to be expanding with his tech. So he's got sorcery. So let's take a little peek here. I have the vision of myself. He's got rifles, and he has footmen and Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch is a really awesome second hero for human. I don't know if most of you guys know that. He does have his Arcane Sanctum, so he is getting casters. So it's ideal for him to be expanding at this point. He probably doesn't expect for me to be teching to bears quite as fast as I did, and being him across the map, it would be hard for him to be attacking. So instead of attacking me, which he should be doing right now, he's going to be expanding because the long walk will allow me enough time to prepare for any attack of his. So anyways, he's doing the fast expansion. As for my Demon Hunter, I'm just harassing his peons as much as possible, getting a few kills here and there. Was able to kill a couple more. I'm still creeping with my Panda right now. Also, another thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of my audio, but I did post it on the on the page in which you download my audio. not to check the APM of me or my opponent until after the commentary, and I have a reason for that, so hopefully you guys didn't do that. But anyways, I'm just proving a little point. My APM in my last audio was like 68, which is pretty low, and I was getting quite a few comments about that, people wondering why my APM was so low. But that's alright, I'll explain what needs to be explained. Anyways, here I am just rejuvenating my Demon Hunter, rejuvenating my bears. What's nice about the bear tech is that you can creep and you don't need to use your moon wells. You're not going to need to return to your base at all. So basically, you can just go on a creeping spree. That's the whole point of this strategy, is if you're not attacking your opponent, you better be on the big, huge creeping spree. You should be taking out as much as possible, as fast as possible. So here I am running my Demon Hunter, which is level 3 at this point, just on harassment, back to my opponent's base. He is constructing a guard tower. As for my panda, he's down creeping out the golem down here at the bottom of the map. I was also checking for expansion. He is now my opponent is attacking, which is an ideal time for him to be attacking. Caster rifles and foots. Foots are pretty red. I'm going to be healing up my lore to save me as much time as possible. Right now I did manage to take out the tower. I did manage to take out a few of his peasants while creeping at the same time. And now I'm basically going to pick up a scroll of teleport right now. You do notice on my Demon Hunter I do have a staff of teleportation. I bought this just in case I got too far in his base and he was to return with the TP. I can escape as fast as possible. As for my opponent, he's running his footmen out of the way, as they are pretty weak, so he's just continuing to attack with the with his rifles and all that. So anyways, he's successful in taking out my last ancient lore. Pretty good on his part. As for myself, he is forced to run away because now I have level 3 panda, level 3 demon hunter, 5 bears, and mercs. 5 bears is ideally a strong enough melee force to have at it with the human army. So basically he's running back to his base as fast as possible, because he has no option of anything else to do at this point. As for myself, I'm just going to camp out at the Fountain of Mana and just heal up a little bit, see if I can get some more mana into my bears in case I need to use rejuvenation or whatever. I am expanding at his bottom gold mine at the bottom of the map. He has his expansion up at this point. I'm not going to worry about that. At this point, I'm going to be running at his base and try and finish him off right now before he can get out any more casters and rifles, because he has his expansion up. One thing that's I kind of noticed about Night Elf versus any other race. Night Elf can expand a lot faster than other races, generally. But when they get an expansion up, pretty much you're assured the victory if you can keep it up. As for other races, if they get an expansion up as well as you get an expansion up, so for example, if he has an expansion and I have an expansion, well then the advantage kind of tilts in the favor of your opponent, whether it be Night Elf, whether it be undead or human or orc. So generally, you don't want to let if you can avoid it, don't let your opponent expand at all. Anyways, you will notice that here he comes. It's kind of a bad teleport. He does pick up the dragon. I'm going to dispel that, and from at this point, I'm just going to cast Roar on my bears, turn on the immolation, cast my potion of invulnerability, use Breath of Fire, Drunken Haze, and annihilate his whole army in one little moment right here. This is just a massacre. I mean, I didn't even lose one unit this whole game. So this is a pretty strong strategy, as you can tell. Some of you guys are probably thinking right now, well, this was a pretty bad teleport on his part. Well, it doesn't necessarily really matter, because even if he was to TP in the back of his base, I would have just beat down his hall and rushed in and killed him, because there's no way he would have been able to stop that with weak front line like footmen. So basically, that just reiterates the strategy I talked about last time, and also shows you the power of multitasking. Now, when it comes to multitasking, some of you guys are probably thinking, well, that was really good. I mean, Mr.Cygnus right there. I mean, he crept the whole game and expanded and harassed his opponent all at the same time. I mean, wow, you know, that must be really go to. You're probably thinking that right now. Probably thinking, well, geez, his APM must have been really high too. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I'll leave that up to you guys to check after the audio exactly what my APM was. You know, actually, I'll tell you guys right now. Let me just put this thought into your head right now. If I was to tell you my APM was 300 this game, because obviously you saw that I just did a total, I did an extremely good job harassing, expanding, and creeping, and I didn't lose any units, and I kept the pressure on, and I did a lot of pretty cool maneuvers there. You probably think, oh, actually I did lose one, but anyways, you probably think, oh wow, 300 APM, that's really Gosu. That's extremely good. But then again, what if I told you guys in this very same game that you're thinking about right now, what if my APM was only 100? Well, you guys would probably think, well, he just did a fairly good job, and it was a good strategy. Well, I'm going to explain a little bit of APM to you guys. I'm going to tell you right now, my APM in this game was 70. Now, that's not necessarily very good. That's actually pretty bad. Now I'm going to tell you guys, because I did notice in my last audio commentary in the forums and stuff like that, people were like, oh wow, 68 APM, that's really low, and and some people were pretty smart. They've realized that it's all actions per minute, how many buttons your opponent presses.